the one that caught my eye was that Rookie, his KDA is insane. And I think top esports, they really rely on Rookie carrying most of these team fights on something like the Yone, on something like the Akali, but sometimes when Rookie does miss the ultimate on the Yone due to some misfortune turn of events, top esports just completely lose the game and it often turns into a throw.
Yeah, I could agree with that. It feels like when top esports aren't able to have Rookie be that initiator, they do fall a little bit to the wayside. And for BLG, do you want to give up with that Sejuani? Like you give the Sejuani, and that's going to lead to the Yone for Rookie, and then we'll start to see what Jingxian wants to go for. So no, they're actually going to say, look, you can have the Sejuani. We're going to get rid of the Yone completely. We don't want any kind of a semblance of it. And they prioritize that coming into that top side. So Jingxian,
no shot.
Gonna blind the Jack straight away. Very confident going into bin.
I mean, we have champions like the Rumble and Gwen still available on the board, so Qingtian just introducing us with a blind Jax for this blue one, which is going to mean Sejuani in the hands of Xun for this game 1, where I think Tian, he has been finding the most success with this champion, so it's a little bit of a question mark in terms of why they decided to do this, but top esports, they either need to secure their jungle here or really get their bottom lane duo online.
What they want to try and go for here. I like the Sejuani priority here for Xun. Get him on something safe, something engage worthy, and now where do you want to try and take this draft? You could pick up an AD carry to try and maybe kind of set off. Yeah, I was going to say, you're not really under pressure right now, but you could be put under pressure if top esports want to secure their kind of bot lane on the next rotation. So it looks like for Elk, and I like this as well, Elk has shown throughout this split that he is so exceptionally prolific and powerful when he's given to scale up on this area, and just knowing that he has that in the back pocket out for those 5v5s.
Yeah, that does signify that BLG is looking for something like the Lulu. We do know that top esports, they are still a very big fan of the Lucian and Nami coming to patch 13.5. It is no longer as strong compared to previous patches, but depending on the team composition, a lot of teams still decide to opt into it, as the Vi is going to be the natural response into a blind Zeri. But this game is going to be the Thresh getting locked in. So as BLG takes away the Lulu, they are going to ban out the bottom lane matchups, and hopefully they get Elkin on in a very comfortable state for this game 1.
Yeah, getting this well for jungler as well. That can be point and click CC. Always love to see the Vi against the Zeri, just to make sure you can just lock her down, or at bare minimum completely take out her Vi. And Fiora, let's go, Bin. Let's go. Finally, we're getting to see not just an isolated top lane. We're going to see some proper skill matchup here as these two guys look for lane dominance.
All right, Toppy. I mean, Jackie Love and Elk, just sit down. Take your Thrashes, take your Lulus. All eyes are going to be on Bin and Qingtian, as it is Fiora versus Jax. And this Fiora, when it does come to the skill matchup, the execution needs to be perfect with the parry, and you also need to think of the factor of the enemy jungle coming into the lane, which really will change the tides for both of these champions in the matchup, as the supports are going to naturally get taken off. But oh my god, Oshin, we're in for an exciting one.
We are in for an exciting one, especially in those side lanes. Good engage from the junglers, great power as well. We'll see if anything early stages kind of comes out, and already we're seeing the bot lane is just kind of go, cool. Mark on, you're going to have to go with something a little bit more different. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Thresh banned away here by BLG to take that away from the safety of the Aphelios, but they will have first pick themselves, so we'll wait to see what they want to try and prioritize. But right now, BLG can give Yagao a counter into this mid lane. They could maybe wait to see what bot lane kind of turns itself into.
It does seem like that top esports is going to try and look for something like the Ahri that does synergize extremely well with this Vi, and it just gets stuff done early on the map. I can't imagine if top esports gets the Ahri and Vi and they just can dive the top lane, and it's going to be free cash money for Qingtian, as the Renata is going to be the final ban of this game 1. So BLG, they probably need to just pick the support, which I mean, the Annie is still up and available alongside this Zeri. The Rakan, of course, is also a very good matchup.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of extra engage as well. So I actually quite like the Rakan coming in. And again, it's something we're seeing within the LPL ecosystem and having a lot more priority. It kind of slipped away, only really a Xayah Rakan thing. And then people went, oh, wait, never mind. It's actually really safe and exceptionally good at kind of setting everything else up, especially when you have a low mobility AD carry like the Aphelios. He is dead. Now top esports looking like they're going to go towards the Talia. Very, very powerful, but also very safe for a rookie into that mid lane. And maybe we might see a little bit of a change in that bot side, knowing that they have the Rakan, and might be a little bit of a change of pace here from top esports.
There has been so many supports being taken off the board. I don't really like Heimerdinger in this specific matchup. The Karma would make a lot more sense as you can't really deny too much fun when he does go for those 2v2 trades. But this Talia getting locked in for the side of Top Esports does mean that they're just trying to deny that. So what is Yago going to respond with here? Because Top Esports, they want to look at their side lanes and they want to get them ahead.
That's exactly what they want. Leona locked in there. So again, good hard engaged support to kind of back up TN. And we're looking at some pretty standard front to back team fights coming out here. See what the guy wants to go for. I would love the Veigar here. Popping down that cage can give you so much zone control. Stops everything from what Top Esports want to try and do in terms of jumping on your face and can isolate members. That's locked in here for Yagao. And I feel like both teams very happy with what they got. It's going to come down to execution and utilizing those small little opportunities to gain the most out of these team fights.
Yeah, I'm really happy that Yago has decided to opt into the Veigar instead of the Lissandra. I feel like Veigar is just the better version when you do want a control mage in the mid lane. As you do look at Top Esports team composition, they have so much gap closing champions with the Vi, the Jax, even Leona sometimes. So these team fights, if they're fought in chokes, BLG is more than happy to take that. But on the side of Top Esports, relatively standard, but if Rookie is able to get the side lanes online early with this Talia pick with that ultimate, then we've seen what Jackie Love can do on a hyper carry, and I'm not going to be surprised if he's going to do it again.
Both teams locked and loaded. Both teams at 8 and 5, tied on game difference as well. This is a monumentous match for both these teams. Really does set the tone to how we expect either of these sides to perform. It's a little bit of a playoff preview, if you will. We're considering how close we are to the start of our top 10 bash, but the LPL takes no prisoners. The LPL is a gauntlet upon itself. Both teams desperate to carry momentum. For Top Esports, it's about breaking the spiral. It's about stopping the free fall that you are on. 3 series losses back to back to back versus BLG, who are on a bit of an upturn. 3 wins in a row for them. This could be offers and kind of securing postseason and also putting yourself on the right foot towards playoffs.
Yep, the difference between round 3 and 4 is huge. 2 buys might be the difference for you to maintain your spot in the playoffs. And tonight we have BLG versus Top Esports for this Game 1 to see who comes out on top.
Jumping in. And the Jaya roaring. Love the chaos at the end of the Jayos, where everyone just screams anything and everything. It's just,
very LPL-esque.
It is. It's almost like poetic in how it works for it. It's just like, you know, everywhere else, like, you know, very structured, very nice. You know, you ever go to LEC, it's, you know, very German efficient, you know, kind of chanting and stuff like that. And then in the LPL, it's just like, yep, we got our chance, and then everyone just kind of devolves into chaos. I love it. But obviously, we got our 2 compositions. We've talked at length about how these are going to go on. We have, I'm so curious to see how these junglers are going to prioritize these laning phases, because if there's one I'm looking at, it's Bin versus Jingtian. Both these guys very happy to take each other on and really want to see what they can both do into this last matchup.
We already see both junglers starting the bottom side, as I believe I did catch the 2 ADCs starting cold, so it's going to be a relatively mellow start for the bottom side of this game. But like you said, how are the junglers going to path towards this Jax and Fiora lane matchup? As we see Jingtian already being extremely aggressive with the E.
That's the counter-strike. Make sure that Bin does not get anything out for free. No real big trading coming in just yet.
Oh my god, Bin!
Yeah. Looking like he wants to try and get a little bit more. I love using about 1/3 of his HP. And this is the thing, when you do go for that little bit more of a cold start, you don't have the same level of survivability. The thing is with Doran's Blades is that, yes, they don't build into anything, but they are exceptionally powerful items right at level 1.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially with Jackie Love, who's sitting on Ponynesis.
Oh, the Ignite, the cleanse! It's not enough! Jackie Love. Love from Jackie. BLG very happy to see that happen. And with the cold start on Elk as well, that's huge.
The first blood in the hands of Elk at 2 minutes. We haven't even had time to explain the rune pages. I wanted to talk about top lane more, but Jackie Love coming in, burning the cleanse, not even the flash, as On takes advantage of this level 2 spike and lands 2 beautiful W's onto the AD carry of Top Esports, also losing 2 waves, so that's huge for Jackie Love, especially starting with the Cole, as he just catches him off guard, I assume, and Elf also committing the flash straight away, just secures the kill.
I just feel like that's just disrespect coming out from Jackie Love right there. Like, you can start getting level 2 first. We have all played this game long enough. We know how many minions it takes for you to get level 2 and for the enemy to get level 2. It just feels like that's just such an unfortunate way to kind of set this one up, and BLG will gladly take those advantages from you every single day of the week, and it means that the sustain is going to be in the favor of the BLG bot lane. Vampiric Scepter picked up here by Elk as Rookie. I take a little bit of a trade here, but great start for BLG, and it means that pressure now is on in that bot side here for Jackie Love, because yes, he does have flash, but he needs to be on point with it.
Yep, Shun has also been spotted out on a ward. Is he going to look for the 1v1? He has the red buff advantage, and Bin does have the wave shoved in.
Oh, no smite between either of them. It is secured by TN and finally gets himself level 4. Bin is taking a very powerful trade into Ching TN as he tries to push in this wave. Knowing that neither of the junglers will be coming in here, Bin very confident to take this trade up and make sure he's putting Ching TN underneath the tower.
Yeah, the difference right now is that Qingtian is still holding onto that 1 health bar, which has just been topped, but it is going to be the lethal tempo versus the grasped for this top 3 pages, as Bin is just trying to look for these short trades with every single Q, while Qingtian, he wants to look for those 100 to 0 all-ins once he gets the extra range online when it comes to the lane phase.
Junglers are kind of show themselves with this bot lane missing a couple of summoners, though. You can see Tien and Shun trying to fight for this scuttle right now. Shun did look for that one there. A little bit of a double scuttle start here for Tien. Again, more and more pressure coming out here. It's going to look towards Tien to try and get that level 6 and maybe turn around this bot side. No flash on Elk for at least another 2 minutes, so we'll wait to see where that kind of pressure goes. But let's talk about where we're kind of seeing this right now for BLG. They've got the kill on bot side, but I don't know if that's really where they're going to be focusing all their efforts.
The dragon is available for this bottom side, however, a bit of a trade coming up. Oh my god, one more!
Ooh, Bin does get the flash out of Ching Tien, but that was he knew the vital proc was coming up. If that literally sets itself up, that's a 100%.
Now he has to burn the TP, and this wave is going to lose a couple of melees, but Bin already showing his expertise on the Sphere, which is the counter to Jack, or picked as a counter. He's getting caught out.
Mark goes in, but I don't know if he's 100% caught out there. Dragon is started up here for top esports, but I don't think they can take it. This is the thing when you try to take an early Dragon, is that, yes, uncontested, great, fantastic for you to go for it, but it's definitely a risk when it starts to put down some serious damage onto your team. So BLG able to push in that wave, won't be able to clean up this local plate, and that's going to be a little bit of an annoyance there for the bot lane of BLG, but they want the reset instead.
Yep, so we're going to take a replay of how this happened in top lane, as Bin with the grasp, he was just taking a lot of these short trades up against this Jax, and in the end he did have more health. Qingtian also responding with a counter strike, which also traded really nicely in terms of HP, but this parry landing, just not enough damage because he didn't hit the vital, which unfortunately spawned on the left side, which cost him a kill in the top lane.
Cost him a kill. He gains the CS advantage for now. Should be able to equal it up here for Ching Tien, as both TPs have been used, and now at level 6 the grand challenge could be coming down. If they do not have Shun at level 6, I think he would love a Glacial Prison right now to try and flash in, get the CC down, and then combo it up with the W, but it's not going to be happening here. Shun going to take a reset, get himself back out onto the map as quick as he possibly can, after he gets his bounty centers and a couple of wards for some control.
Yeah, jungle. Oh my god, Qingtian is playing super aggressive, even though the jungler of BLG was just hovering around with that wave, is slow pushing towards the side of BLG, but we need to mention how important these level 6 spikes for both junglers is going to be, and Rookie -1. I'm so sorry, Rookie.
It's all good. I'm just glad the observers stopped like zooming in on when it happens, but we're engaged here on looking to try and grand entrance here on top of Mark, but Mark already got himself some decent resistances and actually a fair bit of health in fairness to him as well, so difficult to really make that. And the dragon will be started off here. Tien drops down a pink to make sure he knows that both junglers here. And this is the thing, the junglers have really been kind of following each other throughout this match, just kind of making sure they're keeping either side honest, but with the priority and how big that wave is on bot side, They're going to be able to secure themselves first dragon. So far, so good in this early game. BLG coming out winners in all fronts and really showing that they're, top esports, you're not going to get a free, easy reset off us. You're going to have to work hard and make us, kind of punish us if we're making any mistakes.
Yeah, big turnaround for BLG's early game, as that was one of their weakest characteristics as a team. But now that both junglers are level 6, this Vi and Sejuani definitely going to look for a lot of kill angles onto the side lane. But the biggest difference is that Tien has to play it perfectly. Since you are a Vi, once you commit, you send it all towards that kill. But for Xun, it is a lot less punishing, as you just throw an ultimate. If it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, well, you just leave.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old Rocky memes, Vi goes in, if he dies, he dies. It's just not exactly a great position to be in. The Rift Herald does get secured, as well as a little bit of a topside steal coming out here for the top esports jungler. Well, BLG looks to maybe get a little bit of a dive, but not securing anything just yet. Yagao smells that something might be up, so pops a little ward there onto the Raptors to make sure that he's not getting jumped upon. Now knows that Tien is going to be in his jungle, so going to play a little bit more defensively, and they are happy to kind of keep scaling up on this. So 9 minutes on the clock, Kitty. Kit Dragon and Rift Herald have already been taken right now. What do you want to see from these teams? What do you want to see? Maybe are you happy to let this one go? What's the plan coming in for both Top Esports and BLG?
Relatively early, quite early game coming out of both teams for this game one, but On being very sneaky with the way he's pathing towards his top lane. I think once both either the Jax or the Fury gets one singular kill and it's stumbles out of control, well, the side lane is no longer yours. And he is prepping On is prepping a lot of vision for a potential tower dive. Bin had a really nice trade onto Team Tien.
Oh, he needs one more minion. On needs one more minion, and he gets the quickness. Tien hovering, making sure he knows exactly where everyone is going to be. That ward does not spot out Tien. Now it does, so they know that the top esports jungler is on this top side. We will see the Q maybe over the wall here, and they know he's here, so Tien, he has flash, but can he get out? He'll use his ultimate to buffer. On, gets himself away with the battle dance. And there's going to be 4 members of both teams up in this top side. The 80 carries are PvE right now, but really early first item there for Yagao. Gets himself a Rod of Ages nice and early so he can get stacking, but it's BLG looking a little bit more comfortable so far in this early stage.
Yeah, On has finally hit level 6 from that mid wave, as Mark did barely miss the ultimate onto the Rakan as he was able to slip away with that E. But On just securing so much vision for this top side, which allows Bin to comfortably push in so much priority into this Jax, where on the other hand, Team Tien, when he isn't able to jump in, then you can't go for a lot of those ideal trades that you do want to take in this laning phase.
Elk is happy as Larry right now. Not sure who Larry is, but he's maybe not going to be so happy after this. Rookie wants to try and get him with a flash.
He's out!
And Elk gets himself over. I like what Rookie tried to do. I feel like he maybe could have put down the workaround a little bit more earlier just to make sure you get the stun off, but not to be done. And Top Esports will gain a summoner, but nothing else.
I think if Mark flash queued there, Elk potentially had to use the cleanse, so it would have been a lot more work getting both summoners from the ADC. On is going to threaten Jackalov of this wave. Maybe another W. He does have the ult. Not too much with the Gravitum.
Yeah, always nice to have an AD carry like Aphelios who can kind of keep himself safe. And On just kind of putting himself in the stride brush. Jackie Love not going to be caught out though for the moment. Very happy to just keep himself underneath this tower. Nice and safe. Minute 20 till the dragon spawns. And important as well, Kitty, with this second strike being the Chem Dragon, means we are going to get a fairly hard contested soul, you would imagine, unless of course it's Ocean, then maybe not. But Bin maybe have 3 people making themselves known up on this top side. Ching Tien using great use of his counter-strike to try and bait out the riposte, and now they're going to push in with that Rift Herald. Actually, no, they've already used the Rift Herald, excuse me. So they're just going to try and get a little bit of priority. Never mind, they're just using it there. I wonder why it didn't pop up on the HUD. Very strange.
Not too sure, but Xun is going to be late here as Mark is cutting off all escape route for Yamo.
Oh, they're going to use the flash. They're going to put down the solar flare, the flick back. Just keeping Yagao in place. He's tanky, but not that tanky, and they commit absolutely everything to get themselves their first kill of the game. Top Esports catch the lazy rotation and get themselves a nice punish.
a really good Leona E coming out of Mark as it connects to Yago, even over the wall as he burned the flash, and then just really good follow-up from the side of Top Esports with that global ultimate from Rookie, and of course getting the first blood into the hands of first kill of Top Esports in the hands of Rookie.
Oh, Rookie though has flash should he need it, as Sean looks like he wants to try and make something. Flash for flash, they'll get the W down. The stopwatch has been burned. Here comes Elk though. Rookie, you have nowhere to go. And we talked about this, Katie. We mentioned the woes of Top Esports. It's plays like this where the solo laners are getting caught.
It's not just Rookie getting caught though, it's just both mid laners getting caught within 1 minute, and this second dragon now getting started for BLG. Tian, you have to really be careful with how Ben utilizes that parry, because he can potentially 1v2 if you're not too careful in this top.
Ben was looking for level 11. Still a bit away from it, I would imagine, given the state of Tian, who takes 2 turret shots. Not ideal. As now the level 11 comes in, this is such a risky spot to be in. But that grand challenge coming down, and Tian goes, yeah, look, bro, I'm not taking that dive, not against a Fiora. Especially when your CC is so telegraphed. But let's have a look at the replay here. Because again, like you said, it's both mid laners getting caught. But Yago's does not lead to a dragon, so it's kind of a little bit more worth for BLG.
Yeah, it's a really unfortunate flash coming out of Yaga as Rookie also just follows up with his ultimate and landing every single ability onto Tian, also commits his ult. But that was just a really good pick from the side of Top Esports. But Rookie kind of just forgot about this and walked into the bottom side, which he had no priority over, no business in walking in, and a little bit disrespectful, to be honest, as on just pops the ultimate without that flash. And, well, he does have flash here, but no follow-up from the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, I love the patience from Shun as well. He uses the flash instead of the Arctic Assault when the W goes down from Rookie to make sure he doesn't get stunned. He's going to force the summoner either way. Ball lane did go down in favor of Top Esports as they do have a little bit of priority. 3-man strong now is red-white. Maybe they want to fight. Jackie Love, you got to be so careful, my dude. You cannot just tank up all of this damage. Rookie is sitting around on the backside, and this could be a 4v4 that we don't even expect. There's no dragon, there's no nothing. I feel like we should be fighting around Rift Herald, not bot side.
That's what you think. Jackie Love going aggressive there. He sees angles that we don't see, and that's what differentiates us between LPL ADC and just
so we're not in LPL. You know what? You're right. You sometimes you just got to accept when you're wrong, and you're at this point I'm wrong. But Jackie Love will need to be using his Severum, the last of it, I believe, to make sure he's healthy enough to try and maybe contest. But without on in this top side, he's going to be a little bit late. And Sean, Elk gets jumped on here. They're going to try and confirm it onto him. There's going to be the lightning crash to come out with the Immortal Shield Bow. Can he get a kill? Yes, he can. It's a 1-for-1 as they look to try and see Tian going on onto Sean. Flash in, leap strike down, but the Fiora gets the kill on top of the Leona. Rookie got himself the Rift Herald, but can they get out of this fight? Tian thought about it, but he doesn't have anywhere to go. Neither does Rookie, and Bin picks himself up his second kill. Yes, you get the Rift Herald, but Kitty at what cost?
At the cost of a 2-0 Fiora now. With the bounty in his hand, he's going to dominate the side lane of this game, but it just seemed like Top Esports a little bit scattered in terms of what idea they were trying to approach that team fight. Still picking up the Herald onto Rookie before he died, but that is a big gold shift in the game.
Let's have a look at the replay here again, because again, I like this that Top Esports recognized there is no on, but Elk just survived for so long.
Yeah, Elk has the flash here as well, but not following up with the CC, committing all the flashes just meant it was going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But Shin is getting bulked by Tian on this shack, even getting a blast into his head as Rookie secures this, but Bin coming in for 1 kill on the Leona, another kill onto the rest of the Top Esports, and now the Fiora is a big problem for Tian to deal with. Yeah,
Bin making sure he got the riposte down, and that's the thing when you're trying to go for those flickbacks with the seismic shove, you're trying to go for the cease and desist with the Vi. You're just going to be very telegraphed in how you work for it. It will lead to a top tower take here for Top Esports, so keeping the gold in their favor. About 1,000 or so, maybe about 800 gold in their favor, but look at mid lane. We might see a bit of an engage coming out here. Tian is getting hit there by the Event Horizon, who, in the words of Captain Flowers, is the most powerful non-ultimate ability in the game. And I tend to agree, just the cooldown of it. Yeah, I mean, straight up, I feel like I have to agree with him on that, because it just feels like it's just the size of it, the cooldown, everything.
It should be an ultimate. but unfortunately he's a... When was Vega released? Like 2012 or something?
Not a clue. I could look it up, but I have no idea off the top of my head.
We don't know the lore of Veigar, but imagine if Veigar was released in 2023. He would be 200 years of experience, to say the least. But it does seem like BLG is taking this game very slow. They are sitting comfortably on 2 dragons now, working towards that 3rd. So Top Esports feeling the pressure being put on them.
Wait to see 2 items now here onto Elk as a Phantom Dancer available to him, because he knows he needs to have the speed, he needs to have the movement to make around these fights. 20 seconds till this dragon spawns now. BLG working up towards Soul Point, Kitty. How do you want to see them approach this? Because Top Esports, they're not going to have priority right now.
No priority, as look at the vision already set up by on so many pink wards. But Jackie Love needs to be so careful with the double summoners available as well, Gale Force in hand. He isn't going to have that extra lifeline compared to Elk, who has the Immortal Shield Bow. But when it does come to team fights, Jax's, once you land an E, that could be the turn of the tide.
Could very well be. Lane getting prioritized. No vision control whatsoever right now from the side of Top Esports. They have no idea what's going on with this dragon, and they have no way of getting in. The event horizon can just come down and stop them all. Now they know with the Scryers coming in that they have got something to work for, but the dragon's already been secured. The Glacial Prison goes off way to the right, but it does not matter because that's all they wanted here from BLG. They are now on Soul Point and a Chem Soul to boot.
Doesn't even look like Top Esports is going to go for the tier 1 in the mid lane, but fighting this choke against Veigar.
Xingtian!
Top Esports.
He's caught in the baby cage. He was raging as he couldn't get away. There's going to be a great ultimate from the Aphelios on multiple people, but Xingtian is already dead. Now Tien has been isolated by his own mid laner's ultimate. This event horizon's doing so much to just separate Top Esports and BLG. They've got to wait a couple of seconds before they can go for Baron, but they have total control of this game.
A 3-for-0 trade, and BLG gets even further behind, looking for their first tower in the game now, as Yago follows up with this cage. Not going to land, but all my focus was just on Jackie Love's guns, as they weren't the best. I believe red and purple, so no damage from the side of the carries, as Vitalia was trying her best to fight in the choke, but Xingtian getting caught out with that baby cage, like you've been saying, as he was just separated from the rest of the team, while On also looking for that flank connected into the team fight, but Jackie Love's guns not enough damage from the Xingtian, and nothing was dying compared to Elk, who was popping off in this team fight.
I mean, look, yes, Rookie, I see the angle you're looking for. I see the idea you're trying to make work, but unfortunately, it goes so wrong. Just not really setting himself up or his team for success, and now we come back in. It is only still a couple of 100 gold lead, but you look at where that gold is. 4, 1, and 3 on L. 3 dragons to BLG, and every single time we see a fight, it feels like it's BLG going for it. Jackie Love gets himself the cleanse to get out the event horizon to stop any kind of real follow-up engage. And I just, again, every single time I look at this Veigar, he just seems so powerful. He's 2 levels ahead of Rookie because of his Rod of Ages.
Yeah, the amount of CC that BLG has on an extremely short cooldown is so scary to ever opt into. Xingtian is covering the bush, spots out Xun as he takes the chugs, but Bin on this bottom lane, you can't have Jackie Love facing him alone, he's gonna die.
You can't. I mean, they're just giving up that tower. That's how I view this on the bot side. They're just saying, look, it's done, it's dusted, we're not going to really kind of contest. That being said, Bin doesn't know exactly where everyone is. He does now, so now he's going to come back for it, but needs to be very careful of how he wants to take this fight as well. He has 2 levels on Jackie Love, but knows with the Gale Force and the IE, if giving over a free kill is not it. And this is something that we've seen as a development has been throughout his, you know, kind of, honestly, at the moment, short career, because he's only, you know, he's only so young. But Elk and Sean, they're looking for a catch here onto maybe Sean, as they do get the ultimates down, but he's very tanky. Got a lot of HP, but not enough. And Mark will pick up the kill. You would have loved that to go into someone else, but with 5 members strong on the top side, Top Esports may look for the Baron. It's risky, though, considering how much you just used.
They're gonna have to end the drama. This is the time to split the Baron, as Finn is going to back and TP into the fight behind. There are wards set up.
There are wards available. They want to go for this one here. Tien already taking so much damage on. Pops the quickness mark. You can get caught out. The flash in, the knock off. They've killed off. Jackie Love Rookie is dead as well. They have to go for the flip, but the burger has been burnt, and Top Esports will lose everything. They thought they had an opportunity, and BLG said no and slammed the door on their foot.
That was the only chance for Top Esports to ever take the Baron, but BLG and their current form, specifically On, just getting his hands onto the backline of Top Esports makes all these teamfights so impossible to play. BLG now sitting with that Baron buff, Dragon Soul in 1 minute, taking over this map and also this game 1.
I mean, what a time to get the Baron as well. We can see TN going to come into this mid lane and stop it back. But yeah, I think if he actually took that fight, he probably would have died. Yeah, I was going to say he would have died. He's 3 levels behind the elf.
Top Esports feeling very desperate in trying to make any play happen as it was a 4v5, but this Zeri, 3 items and also 2 stopwages onto the carries of BLG. This next soul is going to be really hard to fight. But look at On, he activates the ultimate straight away and then flash W's through the back crowd and lands a triple ultimate onto the side of Top Esports, and that just allows Elk to do whatever he wants in this team fight. The carries fall 1 by 1 and also the Baron now in the hands of BLG.
And this is the thing, we see it, so many examples of it, and we're so critical of it for Top Esports, where Qingtian's kind of half taking the Baron, half looking towards helping his carry. He's not really doing a hell of a lot. And this is the problems we're having with Top Esports, where they're half committing to one call, half committing to another. If you're going to commit to one or the other, do one. Indecision is a decision in itself, and that is costing them so much. It's a 7,000 gold lead out of nowhere. It was a couple of hundred about 2 minutes ago, and this game has just kind of ran away from them. 3 items on the Zeri, gonna have the soul as well, which is gonna maybe set up for an elder flip, but for BLG, they've got everything. They may look for the fight. Tien gonna try and maybe get himself into the pit. Bin off to the side, looking to try and find a bit of a flank. They finally have Yagao here, but the Hex Soul has been confirmed, and everything else is all just afterwards gonna go in favor of BLG. They're looking for more, but Tien's gonna die. There's your front line down. Tien.
He's so fast.
Yeah, he's so fast on Yagao. He finally gets the event horizon down. Qingtian will just about survive for the moment, but they get the Aphelios. They get Rookie. Double kill coming in for Bin. And this is all but over, Kitty. This is just not your game, Top Esports. For BLG looking fantastic.
Qingtian running away with 1 HP as it was a 4-for-0 trade. Also, the Hectic Soul now in the hands of Elk, who was extremely fed, 7-1. But Top Esports, they were so desperate in making a decision. You could have gone for the mid-tier 1 if you weren't going to contest for the Dragon. But walking into a Veigar, Sejuani, and Rakan is pretty much impossible. And they didn't get anything out of this fight, as we see Bin just consistently wrecking the backline of Top Esports, so they couldn't walk up, as they just bursted the Dragon straight away. Now they look for the in-gate and they get a 4-for-0 wipe.
Yeah, it's just so hard to walk into that. It's like one vent horizon, okay, that stops everybody else. Qingtian's not a part of this because he's dealing with Bin, which is correct in my opinion. And then it's just nothing you can do. There's just so much CC, so much chase potential. Yes, Qingtian survives despite everything else, but the rest of his team has gone down, so BLG looking absolutely fantastic in this game, and honestly, this is the kind of form that you love to see for this team coming into potential playoffs, because with this win, obviously it's only 1 game out of the best of 3, but I mean, Top Esports got to figure out what's going wrong, because this wasn't it. I don't know what it is, but it ain't it.
They have to go back to the drawing board, as this game is virtually impossible to come back, as the Fiora is now 5-0, just going to consistently pressure the opposite side of the map. So Top Esports, they need to look for a 4v5. Now there's advantage fight, as Qingtian also has to use the flash in the previous one, so it's going to be really tough to try and get your hands onto the carries, as Elk is working towards that LDR now, not looking at the TC tower in top lane.
Yeah, I mean, look, for Top Esports to come back into this, you're going to need multiple picks, multiple throws around multiple dragons or barons as such, and that's where you can maybe come back into it, because even looking at the state of the map right now, they've just got no vision. Thank you so much, observers. They've no vision, they've no way of actually catching someone out, maybe get a flank or anything like that. There's nothing for them to make plays with, and that's the thing that I like about BLG, as we've seen them throughout their split, is that they are learning, they are getting better at figuring out how to kind of, you know, control a game, to suffocate out teams. They're not just throwing themselves ahead and kind of skill dipping, which is going to do right now onto Rookie. Red Horizon comes in, and Rookie is all but dead. Shun picks up that kill. This could be the last team fight of this game. Number 1, Qingtian, without the counter-strike, is not going to be able to do anything whatsoever. It's a clean 5-0. BLG demolish, decimate, and destroy Top Esports in game number 1.
A 12k gold lead, 21 kills is going to be the game one going in BLG's favor. L popping off on the Zeri. I mean, we were talking about the ADCs of this game, but L coming out as the better one for game one.
Great win for BLG, and honestly looked so clean. So clean. I cannot stress this enough, is that, like, you know, we're obviously coming into the split, a lot of games from BLG. We even talked about it before we came into picks and bans. Very scrappy, kind of throwing things into the air a little bit, not really sure exactly how they were going to come out of it. That looked